close your eyes now. Do not open your eyes until I say so. Imagine this morning, you didn't manage to wake up, and now you're looking down from heaven. What do you see? What are your parents doing? I do not know what you see, but this is what I see. My parents have lost a loving daughter. They no longer have to wait for me to come home every weekend, and now they have to take care of my car loan and my pet. You may now open your eyes. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
We live in a culture that we do not really talk about death. That is why a lot of people have a lot of difficulties coping with life when someone close to them die. There's no doubt that if I pass away, my parents will suffer great emotional loss and excruciating pain. But life still has to move on without me. They will still have to take care of my younger brother. Now, but with planning, if we plan our death, then we are able to minimize the pain that they will have to go through. So if that day happens, I want to make sure that my parents will suffer lesser pain, will undergo less stress, less pain, and less difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, planning your death in advance can actually relieve the decision-making burden on your family. For instance, where do you want to be buried? Where do you want your funeral to be? Do you want to be burned or cremated? All this will actually limit the family arguments that you will have for the family. And I'm sure that some of you will be able to understand. Another example would be, how do you want to dispose your personal belongings? Do you want to donate to the charity? Or do you want certain members of the family to have your belongings? Now with planning, all this will reduce the emotional stress that your family has to go through. But without planning, dying can be a suffering for the people that you love. So is it not essential for you to plan your death? Now the second point is that if we plan our death in advance, we can avoid financial difficulties. How many of you own a car here? How many of you are still paying for your car loan? How many of you have house loan, personal loan, and any other loans? Are you the one who's bringing income to your family? So what happens if you didn't manage to wake up today? Is the bank going to give you the car and your house for free? Who is going to put food on the table for your family? And will your family able to maintain their living standards? Now you see, I have a friend, and then he's with the girlfriend since forever. I asked him, so when are you going to get married? And turns out that his father passed away unexpectedly a few years ago. And right until now, he's still paying for his debts. And he even also had to pay for his father's expenses, take loan to pay for his father's expenses. And on top of that, he also had very bad relationship with his siblings, simply because they do not want to share the cost. You see, ladies and gentlemen, without planning, dying can be a suffering for those that we love. Now, some of you might say, oh, I'm rich, I have a lot of money, I do not have to worry about that. But you see, do you know that one of the wealthiest men in Macau, even before he dies, everyone is already fighting for his inheritance? Planning your death doesn't mean that you can avoid any family disputes, but it can minimize. Definitely, it can minimize the family disputes in your home. Planning your death can help your family to reduce the emotional stress that they have to go through. It makes life for them a little bit easier when they have to cope with their life when someone close to them pass away. Now some of you might ask, why now? I'm still young. I don't even know what do I want to do with my life now. What more death? But you see, ladies and gentlemen, the question here to ask yourself here is, what if that day happens? Would you be able to risk it? Planning your death can help your family to live a better life. Planning your death is for the living. Without planning, dying can be a suffering for the people that you love. But with plan, it can become a time of healing, closure, and even peace. Thank you.